Now, the aggressive rate cut by the RBI, good news for domestic consumption and will boost consumer credit demand, according to Adhil, Shetty, founder and CEO at BankBazaar.com. Here's an excerpt of the conversation he had with Priyal Guliani. Listen in.
I think this is good news for Indian customers on all fronts. Now, the RBI's policy rate is at the lowest it's been in 4 years, right, which is 6.75%. And this is going to result in eventually home loan EMIs, car loan EMIs, personal loan EMIs reducing the burden both for existing borrowers and making it less expensive for new borrowers. So very pleasantly surprised by the good news.
So far, how has the scenario panned out for the EMIs that we've seen? What kind of relief would really come if banks completely translate this cut in terms of the impact on EMI?
It's a two-step process. So the RBI has cut its policy rate. Now the banks will evaluate their cost of funds and then they will decide how to change their base rate. But let's run a sample calculation like you suggested. An average loan size is about 30 lakhs. Home loan tenors are about 20 years in the country. So a 50 basis point cut, right? If passed on directly to the customer on a 30 lakh loan over 20 years, roughly results in an EMI reduction of about 990 rupees. So essentially we're talking of about approximately 1,000 rupees less in EMI per month or 12,000 rupees in savings per year, which I believe is quite substantial for a home loan borrower.
Well, my next question really comes from the fact that there is expectation that there will be some pause now in this entire downward trajectory that we've seen with regard to the interest rate. So therefore, keeping that in mind, the debate of fixed versus floating, where do you think and what should be the criteria based on which consumers should be deciding whether to go for fixed or floating?
Right. So a vast majority, right, over 90% of the home loan market in India is floating. And typically we recommend it as a good product, right, because when interest rates go down, the benefit flows to the customer. And when interest rate goes up, the customer will end up paying a higher EMI, but it's very transparent. It's tied to the base rate. So a vast majority of the home loans in India are done on the floating rate basis. That being said, there are a lot of bank offers there which are on a fixed tenure. Fixed also goes in various flavors. So there are loans which are fixed for 2 years and floating after that, fixed for 5 years. There are products out there which are fixed for 10 years. And I think the customer really needs to decide, do they think, rates are at a low level now? So do they really want to lock in for 5 to 10 years? But the broad guidance is when you take a floating rate loan, you get the benefit when rates fall, or, you pay a higher price when rates go up. But it's a fair deal when you take a floating rate loan. Another question people always ask us is this a good time to go ahead with my home loan, or should I wait expecting that things will fall further? The recommendation on that, right, is that the really important thing is, have you found your property? Have you found a home you like? Do you believe that this is something which is an asset you want to acquire and hold on for a long time? So the decision really, I believe, should be based upon, have you found the right home to buy?
Right, Rima, you can find out more on how to manage your home loans now on Smart Money this Friday, October 2nd at 8:30 p.m.
That's all from us on Countdown. Just stay tuned, lots more coming up.
Thank you for watching.